Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's LCK Cup 2025.
Well, delivered there by Delight.
Even then, that's what, like 12?
Yeah, no, it's a big lead. Pyosik also able to put some pressure on here towards the bottom side. Flash comes through, the exhaust is down as snip goes Dudu. And the flash comes out and the charged up Q. Regular season, everyday best of 3. Majority of the time, they're going to win. Sometimes they're just not going to really worry too much about the result. That's what we saw at the beginning of this week. Maybe this is like a wellness week, you know, where they're just not really focusing on the scrims. It's all about, they've been pampering. They're going to the spa, you know, that stuff. Immediately taken and prioritized.
Very good. The old statement, if something looks too good to be true, it probably is. If Zeka is TPing the worst out of anyone.
All right, Dudu. Oh, going a bit aggressive. It's a preemptive exhaust. An early flash there from Zeus as well, but they're committing to this dive. Pyosik taking so much damage. He's dead. And that was not the dive that we wanted to see. Last time around, it went well. This time, the God of Thunder is going to strike.
Just take the exit, man. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, sometimes you got to gracefully take the L.
We just... you know, you can't... Sorry, I'm having a hard time with this. Yeah. There was a very clear...
As it turns out, he could.
Yeah, there was
of course, a little bit easier when you get to strut your stuff, but nicely done. As Viper just wandering past this turret with that 4th bullet at the ready. That and a grenade throw.
That's good.
Yep.
Even after that, you can still peace out.
Pyosik's been playing for a while. Maybe he thought that he was the Pantheon that could dodge turret shots. It's not sort of the way it is. Once again, Zeus is just going to make them look silly on his cannon. Dudu still looking to chase after him. We'll see whether the stun is going to come through. It is going to be there, but finally, the rest of the cavalry turns up, and Bulldog will be able to take them down, but not after the cost. Like, it is a 1-for-1 trade, and turret falls down in mid, turret falls down in the bottom lane, and the DN Freecs not going to be able to get too much for this one, outside of Dudu maybe being able to take down this top outer turret that was already very low anyway.
So to summarize,
yes.
Zeus is still up 630 gold. He traded 1-for-1.
Okay.
Dudu is definitely not going to survive this.
We're Hex flashing. Viper is going to be able to lock him down.
That's Otacon.
Yeah, that is Otacon. That is a dead Gwen, and that is starting to look like a real advantage that HLE has in this game.
Dan Freecs, we don't. Oh, he's on a mission.
All for this.
Oh, he is ready. They do not know. I mean, he's Pantheon though, so I assume they're gonna. Yeah, like it doesn't really matter where he is, and they're just not gonna go for it anyway. Would have been cool though, but I don't think realistically he makes it there. So
I think the idea of not going in was definitely one of his better choices.
Well, but they should have done that earlier. If you're gonna not go in.
Hey, you've got to celebrate learning from your mistakes, Chronicler, okay? You can look at things two ways.
End of the word.
It is the end, you're right. Okay, Zeka is going to find some air here, and Pyosik will be able to lock him down. Still, life is just dead. Is going to look for something, doesn't really find an angle here. A soul point on the table for HLE. There is the exit of the jungler though, so Peanut going to make this not a 50-50. This is in fact a let's just leave type scenario for DNF.
So it's cool. Yeah, Atlas, I know you're the #1 Cloud Soul salesman, but I think we just focus on the fact that Cannon,
Cannon,
Rel are
if you got to only choose one, Dudu's dead, by the way, guys. If it was just on the Cannon, that would be powerful enough. Cloud Soul on Cannon is so broken. As Peanut finds just a small sliver of wall.
Come on, you can do this.
Yeah, there is a very scary cannon off on a flank angle as 3.5k is approaching on the Baron. HLE looking for the turn, not wanting to make this a 50-50 unless Peanut just evicts Pyosik from the area. And the ulti going to miss this time around. HLE gonna get engaged on. Great Pop Blossom there from Life as the bullet time comes in. The steal from Pyosik as well, as Peanut will be taken down as the first kill, and HLE are just scattering. Bulldog will not find the charm, and Pyosik will not find anyone. Magnustorm is going to connect us now. Zeus just eviscerates Berserker in the back line. Delight and Zeus just saving this team fight by themselves, while Viper is taking the rest of them for a walk. Yeah, the teleport going to come in as Zeus looking to make his way forward. They sacrifice Viper as once again, yeah, playing for utility, ladies and gentlemen. They're looking to complete the aces. Delight wanting to hold them in position. Pioshik going to say no to the pentakill, but yes to the ace. As comically, so many of these buttons go wide, and Zeka will be able to pick that one up. In this one, as some curtains are being called here, and Bulldog will answer by not getting hit by any of them. This is Cloud Soul, ladies and gentlemen. HLE going to be real speedy on this one. The flank angle kind of scary as Peanut zoning with the ult and picks up the dragon.
Oh no.
Yeah. Zeus not even on a flank angle here. Speaking of flanks
as well.
Okay, Pioshik looking for an opportunity. They want to dive onto Viper yet again, but look at this. HLE, they just regroup, get back into position, and they're not going to be taking him down this time. Dudu, he might be the one that's in trouble though. Out of the mist and out of options, and that is Zeka that's going to lock him down. Zeus looking for more as well, as Berserker needing to run away. The Mark of the Storm is on him, and Zeus will be following him up. There's the flash, and there's also the deadly flourish from Viper, perfectly aimed.
If Viper had Cloud Soul in his previous setup where he died, he would have actually lived.
Exactly. Imagine if Berserker wasn't against Cloud Soul when he was trying to run away there. Maybe Strut was going to be enough.
It is such a crazy thing to me, because even with the Cloud Soul, looking at the gold...
Oh, it's about watches?
Clocks? Yeah, clocks.
Ah, clocks, yeah, that's...
Wait, you know the scientists though, right? That's the...
I know a few of them. Who's your favorite?
I don't have a favorite.
Are you a Galileo guy? I feel like he doesn't get enough recognition. As he was also a bit of a philosopher. As we've got a inhibitor turret taken down here. And the inhibitor soon to follow. Delight, will he find an angle? There's the flash forward. You could tell he was looking for it as Bulldog just going to burn down. Zeus will find another double kill. Let's see whether this time the Penta is... Never mind, it's not happening. Viper just says goodnight to life, and in fact, Zeus is dead, but he is still going to get the last laugh as the crash down on top of Dudu slammed into his own Nexus, and Pioshik just going to have to watch as... Never mind, he might just die. Is Zeka going to go golden, making him look a little bit silly at the end of this one. Flashes away, and there it is. The ace is completed, and HLE will find this Game 1 victory. Even though it looked like the gold was close throughout the entirety of this game, it felt like things were just slipping out of the grasp of the DN Freecs from quite early on in this one. And HLE will do it in Game 1.
The game state is, but he can be really good in both those, but Vladimir does struggle with getting kited. And then you have Soraka, who kind of like, you pick Trundle, and then they pick Xayah and Ornn, and you're like, well, I don't know why he would do that, but thank you, I guess.
Yep. Viper is now trying to bounce away from Berserker. There are a lot of sticks in this guy, as the bailout just perfectly timed, and Berserker will be able to grab the duo kill. Yeah, this is the problem. Yeah,
or Thanos, or whichever is your preferred bad guy.
Yeah, he can snap his fingers or whatever. I like the Yu-Gi-Oh reference. I think Exodia is the way. As Bulldog is going to move on over here, Zeka is going to find him, throwing some justice via a punch into him. Pioshik's still just getting to work on this Infernal Drake, though, as Peanut is going to come on over. This will be the fight starting. Chains of Corruption down as they are targeting the Soraka, but the Fate's Call going to be there. The Wish just in time to get Peanut out of danger. And now the taunt comes through. Justice Punch, gorgeous from Zeka, and a double kill for Zeus. This is exactly what the DN Freecs could not afford to happen. And my God, I could say that this is probably the best composition to have.
I believe in you. Pioshik, they don't know you're there.
All right, well, Pioshik is going to be discovered, but now the value of the Galio comes in. The Wukong able to get out those Warrior Trickster comes on through, and now there is a Hemomancer in amongst everyone. Dudu trying to be that frontline as Delight just gets in there with a massive knockup. Viper having to flash away as the huge taunt comes through from Zeka. Being an absolute hero, there is going to be Zeus going down. That's a raid boss removed, as I've seen this movie before, and it is going to be both of them dying. This time around, Delight almost able to save his AD carry. A 2 for 3, though, should mean that Soul Point still goes over to HLE.
And even despite the Delight ambulance, Berserker great from Hanwha, right? They're fighting to a choke,
and the Hemo Plague didn't really get too much amplification.
Yeah, there wasn't too much follow-up, but then they do actually get Zeus. He does go down.
The heroic entrance, but he is a long way away. He's out of range for now. Let's see what can actually occur from this one. It's down to 3,000. Peanut could get in for a potential steal, but it's not going to happen. Arcane Storm now just zoning them away, and HLE just going to have to exit.
5 to 10 minutes later, they would be down 5,000 gold very consistently.
Well, we're moving towards that because these turrets are just kind of...
It's true. It's again,
without the need.
I'm happy, you know. They've been great. We've had a good time skating together. It's been
exactly
fun.
There you go. As Zeka is going to be behind enemy lines momentarily, 10 seconds until the Chemtech Dragon is up and available. Pioshik probably wanted that health bar to be not empty, and is going to be able to knock away the Galio. The Baron has spawned right at the nick of time as Berserker will take out the outer turret in the mid lane. HLE a little bit out of position here as that wave is going to go wanting. And now they get control over this area.
Oh, he's coming in early. Dudu knows.
Yep, teleport to come through. Flank angle there for Zeus at the same time, but this Dragon is very low. There are the knockups as Peanut comes on through, and the Justice Punch is good. It is going to be the Drake secured by Hanwha Life Esports. Is into the backline, goes Zeus. Hemoplague explosion is gigantic, and Chemtech soul value is absurd. Viper able to utilize it as he cuts down the remainders, but he's the last man standing now. Pioshik and Dudu, can they deal with this Kalista? That's the question as the Ren sets come in. The last remaining bit of damage is taken out as he's desperately trying to hop over this wall.
He accidentally
and he just lets Dudu live.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, based on his movement, I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to do the one hop over the wall.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna spear back. That also didn't work.
Wait a second. Now it's the opportunity, as Roar the Slayer does come through, so I
you
think you do lose a lot of that zone
you have
of
to win the
Chemtech value. As, all right, Peanut not able to quite find the avenue in here, but Berserker is also going to get taken towards that bailout very, very quickly. The Wish comes on through, and the Soraka very, very happy with having that extra healing available here. As HLE continue to push forward, Pioshik trying to stay stealthy.
Dying with flash up there, making the call. I think we can kill him in the bailout. They couldn't.
No.
They really couldn't, and so it just ends up being a catch. No AD carry, we're not going to get him out, or I assume that's what it is, so instead we're going to try and I think maybe an earlier ult could have made the difference there from Life, but...
Dudu and Pioshik are going to try and kill Zeus here. That was a lot of health that he got back.
He has Chemtech Soul.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he was holding the pull as well.
He has Chemtech Soul.
And Viper is now over here. Pioshik is already dead. Zeka's teleporting in. It's a bit of a celebration here by the looks. Everyone wants to be around as the zombie pops up, and Dudu and Pioshik, absolutely nothing they could do. Chemtech Soul, Vladimir, level 18, 3.5 items. Just no. Like, you're not gonna do anything.
I'm just a little sad, Atlas. I'm taking a moment to
fair enough.
accept that what we wanted today might not happen.
Be taking a moment as well. Never mind. He made it to 50% health, where Immortality just decides that it wants to pop in.
It's a flip.
It's a flip.
Yeah, no, Pioshik's here. They can win.
Unless Viper gets loads and loads of sticks in.
Atlas, no, it's fine. They're going to mistime it. It's really hard to actually do this well. They're going to flip.
Well, he's hopping around a lot. They managed to get the Baron from
the Giga Cone.
last time around. It's, oh, dearie me. Viper going to have to use everything to get himself out. He gets the Soraka out as well. As into the backline they go, and oh my god, they used him as bait! The entire time over the wall goes Peanut, and Pioshik just reeling after this one. He gets into the pit, but it's not going to work. And Viper, he didn't even make it to that 50% threshold. He just got himself out of there, took his Soraka with him, and allowed the Gargoyle and the Hemomancer to get that work done.
I'm pretty sure Zeus in that one fight did more damage than Berserker in the entirety of last game.
Oh, God.
He did like, if that was correct, like 9.3k. Yeah. That's more, right?
Yeah, I would say that that's more.
Oh,
but that's more than a lot of people do in a whole game. That's more than a support does in 4 games. In one team fight. Okay, HLE, a